Hi, my name is Arvin Shafi, and today I'm going to explain my final year project and talk about it using the slides I prepared for this and go through it. As you can see, these are the details, my supervisor, the module, and the core techniques I'm going to use and the technologies. So let's go through it. This slide introduces my final year project, Modern Student Housing Web Application. It outlines the goal of transformation an outdated university's housing portal, which already exists, into a modern, secure, and user-friendly system. The project uses Django, SQL for the backend, React for the front end, also HTML, and anytime automation workflows and such for workflow management. It also integrates 3D property preview to improve users' engagement. The purpose of this slide is to give an overview of the technologies used, the target users, and the overall aim to simplify the housing process for both student and landlords. So just let me mention this housing portal we're talking about and we're going to update is the current private housing portal of the Westminster University, not the current main housing portal which exists. Yeah, let's go on. So here we're going to talk about project overview and vision. So the project is going to move around student housing and search experience by creating a modern interactive platform that leverages contemporary web technologies and user centered design principles. Traditional students' housing portals are characterized by outdated interfaces, poor navigations, and limited interactivity. This platform addresses these pain points by providing a new initiative and responsive and future-rich solution that bridges the gap between students seeking accommodation and landlords managing properties. This project will be updated version of Westminster current private housing. The mission is simply just to simplify and modernize, create a new user-friendly and helpful housing portal, private, which is very beneficial for students who want to find a place which is not that expensive and create a trustworthy to create a trust relationship between the landlords, the sellers, and the students who are going to find the place with the features we're going to add. So let's start talk about the problem and the significance. And this slide highlights the core problem, my project addresses, and why it matters will be emerged. So, existing student housing platforms are often text-heavy, difficult to navigate. They lack interactive features. Students struggle to find suitable properties efficiently, while landlords face poor communication channels and low engagement. This project is significant because it replaces that outdated experience with an accessible, responsive, and engaging system that uh, kind of, let's say, streamlines housing search and improves communication and enhances the user's satisfaction through modern design and through technology and through adding uh, new stuff. So you can see the current problems here, you can see the impact and significance here, and you can see as here says like it's outdated, no built-in communication tools, poor like even poor mobile responsives. And here we can see students waste 5 to 8 hours to search. This is why I found out myself. So just like my idea of placing myself into another student's place, and high dropout rates in booking processes. By booking process, I mean so you could book through connecting, not like a significant system, but like connecting towards what the application gives you to the landlords. and landlords' inefficiency, missed opportunities, poor accessibility, and mm, no data-driven insight for better matching. Poor accessibility excludes user with disabilities. So, yeah, these are the problems you could say, and significance. Next, on slide 3, we're talking about uh, aim and objectives. So this slide explains the overall aim and key objectives of my project. The main aim was to build a platform that simplifies the student housing process while maintaining security, performance, and inclusivity. The uh, the object is the objectives uh, include developing a, secure authentication system, which helps people to log in, log out easily, proper websites, they all have that. Implementing s- mm, smart search, maybe, and adding a filtration option, allowing users to save favorites, enabling property bookings, integration, real-time chat of, uh, for instance, communications, for instant communication, sorry. Like, you have a chat box, you don't have to problem if you have anything to ask, you can go through that. That's the modern way of doing it, using AIs, workflows, automations. And then integrating real-time chat. Yeah, that's one of it. You can see, and smart seller search, as I said, booking and favorites. You can add favorites. It's a responsive UI UX, advanced features. You will have 3D property previews optional that might be added, and workflows that I just talked about, and these workflows with N8N is also going to be included to send the real-time notifications and reminders, which will be very effective. And each objective where I talked about contributes to making the platform efficient, more efficient, interactive, more attractive. And at the end of the day, as I said, the keyword that I use is user friendly. Let's go to the next slide. So here I created another slide for the UI, for the aim and objectives. You can see uh, we're using these features to, create a very efficient web application. Okay, here, clear scope boundaries prevent scope creep and enable focused development and delivering core value within the project timeline. So this is in scope values that we're going to use. So this is a scope of the project, what we want and what we don't want here. So with this slide outlines what is included in the first version of the system and what has been intentionally excluded. So what is going to be excluded, what is going to be included, as I said. So in scope features cover user accounts, admin accounts, property, listening, search and filter functionality, as I just mentioned in the previous slide, favorites, adding favorites, book, meetings, quests, live chats, having accounts, logging, log out, administrative dashboard, which is very important for, authentication and monitoring the what's going on in the cloud. Uh, what's out of scope is elements such as payments, deposits, managements, and contract signing were I think they're excluded to maintaining focus and ensure time completion. So we want to complete the project within the time I have, which is not a lot of time and it's limited, and it's my first project, which I'm actually working on something that is out there and going to be updated. I need to connect with people who made this website to, hear what are their thoughts, and what they think about this. Sorry for that voice. So, yeah, mm, I think this is all I could say about this, and yeah, by defining this scope early, the project will stay manageable, I think, and achievable within 12 weeks, which I am preparing myself for to you know, complete the project. Okay. Next slide is comparative analysis and differentiations. So here we're going to have a little com comparison and compare some of the websites which are similar to mine and they're out there and working pretty good to mine. So my competitive research shows my project's ways of standing out. So I reviewed popular housing platforms like, as you can see here, Spare Room, Rightmove Students, Unihomes, and our platform, which are here. While these websites are functional, they lack interactive features such as real-time communication. That's what I think. So you might say, no, these are like perfect websites, but that's from my point of view. My application is going to fill these gaps by integrating chat notifications and modern interfaces. This research helps, shaping the project's design, direction, and it's going to validate its relevance simply in solving current limitations in student housing system, which will be very helpful. The student housing market is served by several established platforms, which I'm going to learn from them and try to make something better, something upgraded, the final boss. So here you can see, as I said and mentioned here, these are the problems I think. These are what they're lacking and can be added. And accessibility first is like WCAG. So this is a compliance, ensuring inclusive user experience. It's kind of an insurance. Here's another one, another page which I made. It's like in different UI, which you can say how I scaled them. And yeah, like for example, Spare Room, scale them like a 5 star because it's pretty good, but the interactivity is too, I felt it could be much more interactive, which my project is going to be, but the scale is big and it doesn't have any chat and 3D. That's one example. Okay, now let's go through system architecture and technology stack, which will be one of the most important parts of this project. This slide is going to explain the technical architecture behind the system, the front end which is going to be built using React to ensure responsive and smoother user. I'm going to use HTML, CSS for the backend, for the front end, and JavaScript. These are all for the UI logics, UI and the client logics, creating a pretty, pretty website, which is functioning, definitely, which is functioning. Uh, so as I said, yeah, front end are going to be built by these, and for the back end, uh, I'm going to develop backend using Django and REST API for the cloud to handle all business logics and database interaction, which anyone who wants to use database go for SQL nowadays. And real-time features such as chat, notifications, as I said, WebSockets, well, N8N message background. Well, I say N8N because like that's the thing that I think we'll be using for the automation. It might be changed to another, you know, workflow application. So here I'm just making an instance. Let's say N8N manages the background, and Three.js provides optional 3D view of properties. And this architecture allows modular development, scalability, and reliable communication between system components. And yep, there'll be a proper usage of every technology in their part to make the puzzle completed. Okay, here we're going to talk about data models and entity relationship. As you can see here, I already provided the diagrams for this in my handout, uh, but I'm going to talk about it here. The data model defines core entities and their relationships, providing a foundation for database design and API development. This entity relationship model ensures data integrity, supports efficient queries, and enables real-time synchronization between users and properties. So here you can see I made some of it. So we have supporting entities, which will be notifications, reviews, alerts, ratings, primary relationships with the properties, booking, message, favorites, and like the core entity, which is the users, students, and landlords. And the admin will be on top, monitoring everything. Here are the core entities and their key attributes. You can see users have ID, emails, passwords, uh, hash, uh, hash passwords, yeah, for security. Role, they have a role, student or landlord, profile, picture, profile, picture, created that and updated that. These are like the attributes of our entities. You can see other attributes here. We have property, we have booking, message, favorites, notifications, and a lot of stuff. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Uh, as I said, this slide shows data model relationships between core entities. The system includes all these entities. For example, again, users can book, properties, send messages, and add favorites. Bookings link students to landlords and contain schedule details, while notifications keep users updated. The data model is normalized to reduce redundancy, latency, and improve efficiency, and ensuring uh, mm, quick data's response and consistent relationships across the system. Mm. Let's go and talk about the core features. So this slide highlights the main features. So I prepared them here that they define the system. So these features are going to define our system. I don't know why this is typed as this, but like they'll be fixed. So yeah, uh, this slide highlights the main features, as I said. So the students can browse property listing, apply filters such as price or location, view pages, like the detailed pages with media and optional 3D previews. If it's added, I'm saying that's not going to be 100% there, but I'll try my best. Uh, they can also save favorites, send booking requests, and chat directly with landlords through real-time messaging system. Landlords can create, update, delete listings, I think, and yep, they can. Uh, and yep, they can do that. And I think you know, admins can moderate all the content on top. That's the admin role. Together, these features provide an interactive, user-friendly platform, yeah, that supports every step of the student housing process, private housing process, of course. Yes, this is this. Let's go to the next slide. So here we could talking about going to talk about non-functional requirements, testing, and success materials. So beyond functional features, the application must meet strength, performance, security, accessible, and reliability standards. These non-functional requirements ensure that the platform operates efficiently and scale, protects user data, and serves diverse user populations equitably. Success metrics quantify achievements or of the project objectives through measurable indicators. So yeah, it's going to be it's going to focus on the quality standards that system had to is going to meet has to meet. The application is designed to load pages within 3 seconds, as I am predicting. Yeah, I think it'll be a good number for the loading. Uh, yeah, I think that'll be very efficient, and it's gonna maintain 99.5 uptime, and yeah, and support at least 1,000 current users. Security is going to be ensured through HTTPS, of course, and as I said here, uh, so the connections will be HTTPS definitely for the security, encrypted passwords, role-based access control will be definitely added, accessibility followed WCAG standards, making the platform usable for everyone, including those with disabilities. These requirements ensure the platform is fast, secure, scalable, and inclusive. As you can hear, these are the non-functional requirements as for performance, security, accessibility, availability, scalability, data privacy, and testing and validation strategy will be unit testing. It's like just PyTest and see if all the code is working. API testing, of course, with Postman, end-to-end testing with maybe Cypress testing of complete user workflows. So we'll see if it works end to end, all the ends are working. Accessibility, Lighthouse can be useful. XDev tools, manual screen reading testing will be definitely helpful. Performance, yep, and UAT testing with real students and landlords. So that might be subjected as participant, but we will be using them in future to test. I'll be tested by myself if it's not doable. Next slide is going to speak about risk and mitigations. So, yeah, let's talk about the risks. What can harm a project? So this highlights the key risks identified during planning and how I'm going to address them simply. So the first risk I found out was scope creep with so many potential features. It was easy to go, you know, beyond what's achievable in 12 weeks time frame. So to manage this, I defined a strict V1 scope and moved additional ideas into a backlog for future iterations. Second, real-time chat complexity could have introduced, and still could introduce, uh, instability in my mind. So I'm going to implement a minimal viable version using proven WebSocket libraries before scaling. And after that, I think I anticipate 3D performance issues definitely low spec devices. So the solution is to make I think is to make a 3D optional uh, and use lazy loading with compressed seed assets. Privacy definitely very important is another important risk since the platform handles user messages and booking details. I'm going to follow GDPR uh, uh, the GDPR guidelines to encrypted sensitive data and to encrypt sensitive data and use encrypted sensitive data and use role-based access control. Lastly, accessibility gaps were going to be maintained through continuous testings with Lighthouse and manual checks, just to use assistive tools like just to see. Uh, these strategies are going to be used, yeah. And the project is going to remain realistic, definitely. It's going to remain secure. It's going to remain inclusive. I don't want to do what I can't do and like take the risk of like putting myself into a place that I'm not being able to finish my project within the time period I have, within the timeline, the time frame, and inclusive, within the available, yeah, time frame. So now we're talking about the timeline. Let's go for the timeline slide. So this slide presents the 12-week development timeline and shows how the project progress is going to go to work each week. The first two weeks, I'm going to focus on planning. I'm going to focus on research, and I'm going to focus on user requirements. Weeks 3 and 4, converted background setup with Django SQL, going to fill the database, integrations, authentications, stuff like that. Create the login, log out, the whole admin system and the dashboard. Uh, so yeah, that's week 3 where I'm going to do that. Weeks 5, that's week 3 and 4. Week 5 and 6 are going to week 5 and 6, I'm going to add property listing. So search filters and image uploads, even 7 introduced favorites, and yeah, I think week 7 we're going to work on favorites and bookings. Yeah, add, remove favorites, booking, request availability. Week 8, going to work on real-time chat, WebSocket setup, live messaging between students. Week 9, going to work on the automations, possibly, potentially with NA10 automation for notification, booking reminders, and landlord alerts. Dashboards, I'm going to make an admin and landlord dashboard, as I said, with moderation and analytics tools. 3D. These are all explained in the handout, and you can go refer to that to see where what I'm exactly using to do these. But it's just like an overall scope and perspective of what is going to be done. So there's a week 10, I'm going to create the dashboard. Week 11, I'm going to work on the 3D accessibility with 3JS, 3D property views, mobile responsive. Mobile responsive is optional, actually. I didn't say here, but mobile responsive will be optional. The application is a web application mainly. So yeah, I'm going to work on that. And the accessibility refinements, and the final week will be working on testing, make sure everything works, and working on the documentation, which is required by the university for this project. Nice. Now let's talk about the ethics and data prediction. So this was very important for university, and this is the first time we're working with this kind of forms as students. So I thought it's good to have the little explanation on this to say, yeah, this is my take. I think like this about this project. So this slide is going to explain that. So we're going to talk about how ethical standards and data protection principles were applied through the project. Our participants involved in testing should have should get a informed consent, and a form. But as I'm not going to work on a medical, or you know I'm not going to have like participants to like actually do experiments on them, but they'll be there if needed. uh if they're there, they'll be assigned a form, and they'll be aware of what's going on, definitely. So yeah, all participants who involved in testing gave will have they'll have informed consent, and they're going to be told their data would be used. So personal information is minimized, stored securely, and encrypted within Django database. The platform follows, as I said, the UK GDPR principles, such as you know, let's say transparency, let's say purpose, like purpose limitations, and data minimizations. So no sensitive data is going to be collected. Nothing, no sensitive data is going to be able to allocate it. If it is, it'll be monitored by the admin. It'll be removed. They'll be banned. And yeah, will be monitored. And moderation and reporting system is going to be implemented, protect user from any issues and any problems. So these measures are going to kind of ensure and make an insurance that the system operates ethically, safely, and yeah, all work with a respect for user privacy. That's that. So now let's talk about, yeah, we're finished. I'm going to just make a conclusion, like to put it in a nutshell, it could be said that the presentation but is going to get summarized the project's successes and we'll say will it work or not. The modern student housing web application is going to achieve its main goals of modernizing the housing portal and improving user interactions, hopefully, as I'm going to work very hard on it. It'll deliver a secure, scalable, and accessible solution that simplifies the housing process by integrating automations, by integrating real-time chat, adding favorites, and 3D view and search options. The platform brings innovation and usability together. That's the main aim. It also provides a strong base for future. You can upgrade this and add payment methods like add AI driven recommendations, add anything. It'll be very simple to upgrade. This is I'm thinking how to you know uh, design it, and yeah, and overall it'll demonstrate how thoughtful design and technology actually can enhance student life and property management, which is very important. Science comes from uni and goes back to uni. So if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below. That's that. I finished. That's my presentation and my final year project. Hope you enjoyed. And yep, thank you very much.